Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. I feel like I haven't done a video for ages. I feel like I haven't seen any of you for ages. So apologies for that. I've been a bit all over the place and haven't really posted for a while. The reason behind that really is because I've kind of been waiting on this decision and the kind of the result coming back from British Triathlon with regards to my appeal about the pro license. And kind of wanted my next video, i.e. this video, to be about that because I wanted people to know what the situation was and kind of where my head's at and where I'm going. And obviously you clicked on this video because now is the time that I'm going to talk about it, because I've had the response from British Triathlon and I'm going to give you kind of all the information I've got and let you know kind of all my my opinions and my emotions based on it. So yeah, let's get going. So before I get into the nitty gritty of kind of the facts and everything that's going on, I do just want to say a massive thank you to BTF for considering the review and considering the appeal. I can imagine they're incredibly busy at the minute with the build up to the Olympics, and some skinny white ginger kid from Wiltshire is probably not the top of their priority list. So I do appreciate it very much, BTF. Thank you for taking the time to consider this and, you know, talk to me about it. I do appreciate it because, like I said, I can imagine you are very busy at the minute, and so it is much appreciated. Secondly, I would like to apologise to anyone who got offended by the previous video that talked about the situation with the pro license. I will link that above. Please do go and check it out if you haven't seen it before. The point of that video was to let you guys know what I'm going through. That's what this channel is all about. It's all about transparency, no BS, just telling you how it is, how I'm feeling, my opinions based on that. I try to be fairly diplomatic in the way that I approach this as well, because I do not want to offend anyone. That's definitely not my goal in this. But if I have offended anyone, or if anyone got kind of the wrong end of the stick almost with that video, then I do very much apologise, because that again is not the reason behind the channel. The channel has always been a way of promoting what I'm doing and showing kind of the progress and the journey, but also very much about inspiring other people to get involved in the sport and helping them and educating them and, you know, showing them the mistakes that I make and hopefully they don't make the same mistakes and stuff like that. It's just kind of a, it's almost like a conversation with you guys and hopefully giving you some bits of advice, some tips, some inspiration along my journey. And I hope you're enjoying it, but I do just want to say that before I get started with this video, I do apologise if anyone got offended about anything that I said. Then that wasn't the intent, and so I am sorry about that. Now on to the stuff that you guys probably want to hear about is the kind of decision from British Triathlon. And I got an email from them a few days ago, and I always, with situations like this, try and give it a few days to mentally kind of think things over and almost not respond to things emotionally, respond to things logically. It's very easy to respond to things straight away based on emotion, and actually giving yourself a good few days to think about things, take the emotion out of it and just think about it logically. I think that's sometimes the best way to approach these things. So that's why I've left it a couple of days to do this video and hopefully give you guys kind of a logical train of thought rather than an emotional. British Triathlon have changed the criteria. The appeal has been successful, which is brilliant news. More about the criteria. I talked more about the criteria in my previous video, where I talked initially about the pro license and the reasons why I didn't get it. So that will give you a little bit more information, the situation that I was in. But basically, just really quickly, there are races called gateway races, which generally bring in less competition, I guess you would say. It's a way of getting your pro license in the UK against some decent athletes. And basically, to get your pro license, you have to be on the podium and be the first age grouper. Then there are kind of pro races. Can't remember exactly what they call it. I mean, non-gateway races, I'm guessing. And that's kind of like your Ironman and your challenge races. Because they've got more prize money, it brings in bigger names, more competition, so therefore it's harder to get your pro license. So basically, instead of being on the podium and the first age grouper, which would be incredibly hard at one of those races, they changed the criteria to the 4% rule. So you've got to be within 4% of the overall winner. Now, British Triathlon have realised that the PTO input at these gateway races makes things more in line with the non-gateway criteria, because the PTO pump in some more prize money, which advertises it out and entices better competition. More prize money, you get better competition, and so it's harder to get your pro license and to be on the podium and be the first age grouper. So, in short, British Triathlon have changed the criteria to any PTO race that is supported that has more or has $10,000 or more prize money. It changes from the gateway criteria, which is on the podium and the first age grouper, to the non-gateway criteria, which is within 4%. I hope you're still following me. It does sound slightly confusing, but it's really not once you wrap your head around it. I'm pretty sure BTF have written up a report about this and the new criteria, so I'm sure it's on their website. I'll try and find it and source it and link it in the description below. If anyone's got any questions, then also drop that in the comment section below. But ultimately, British Triathlon, thanks so much for doing this. What they've done is they've realised that the PTO massively affects races, which is great. It obviously brings in more competition. It's awesome to have more competition, more challenging races. But they've realised that that gateway criteria therefore is no longer kind of valid at that kind of race. So they've changed it over to the non-gateway race criteria, which is awesome. Really, really good news. So clearly, the appeal's been successful, and that's awesome. I think the biggest thing that I'm happy about in this situation is not the pro license, although that's obviously the reason why I've gone through this process, and it's a massive win for me to get the pro license. That's really, really cool. But I think the biggest win is actually to kind of almost prompt this change in the criteria. I think that's really cool, and hats off to British Triathlon for noticing this and promoting this. I think that's brilliant news. It makes things a lot fairer for the competitors out there that really want to race at the pointy end of the race and try and get their pro license. Is that it?
Hydrate!
So you guys are probably wondering what's next, what's the next race, what's next on the calendar. Well, that'll be in my next video. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for that and find out on Friday.